If I told you saving $10,000 in 1 year breaks down to about $833 a month, about $192 a week, or roughly $27 a day, would that feel impossible? Or would it just feel more real? Because for most people, a big savings goal feels overwhelming, not because it's mathematically impossible. It feels overwhelming because it's vague. Save more money is vague. Save $10,000 in 12 months is specific. And once a goal gets specific, you can build a system around it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to save $10,000 in 1 year, on any income level. Not by pretending everyone has tons of extra cash. And not with unrealistic advice like, just stop buying coffee. We're building a real-world plan, using 3 levers. Cut expenses. Increase income. And automate the gap. That's the formula. And here's the key idea. On a lower income, you may need to lean more on income increases and targeted cuts. On a higher income, you may lean more on automation and lifestyle control. But either way, the framework still works. By the end of this video, you'll know how much you need to save, where to find the money, how to make the process easier, and how to stay on track for all 12 months. Let's start by making the number feel manageable. To save $10,000 in 1 year, your baseline target is $833 per month, $192 per week, $27 and change per day. That matters because this goal probably won't come from one dramatic decision. It usually comes from several smaller moves, stacked together. For example, imagine this monthly breakdown. $200 from cutting food and subscription spending. $250 from reducing one major bill. $200 from a side hustle. $183 from automatic transfers, cashback, or extra savings opportunities. That gets you to $833. And honestly, this is how big goals really happen. Not from one magical trick. From stacking wins. And if $833 a month sounds way too high right now, don't click away. Because, on any income, does not mean every person can instantly save that from their paycheck alone. It means you can build a plan around your situation, by combining savings, extra income, and temporary adjustments. Before you start cutting random things, you need to know where your money is already going. For the next 30 days, or by reviewing the last 1 to 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Sort your spending into simple categories. Housing. Transportation. Food. Utilities. Insurance. Debt payments. Subscriptions. Shopping. Entertainment. Miscellaneous. Most people think they need some complicated budget spreadsheet. You don't. What you need is visibility. In a lot of budgeting studies and surveys, one pattern shows up again and again. People underestimate variable spending. Especially food, convenience purchases. And those small, digital subscriptions. And get this, those little leaks can add up to hundreds per month. Ask yourself 4 questions. What are my fixed expenses? What are my variable expenses? What expenses actually improve my life? What expenses are mostly habits, convenience, or impulse? This part matters. Because you do not want a savings plan that makes life miserable. You want to cut the low-value spending first. If you make $2,000 a month after tax, your strategy may look very different from someone bringing in $5,000. But both people can still use the same process. Track. Prioritize. Adjust. If you're serious about saving $10,000 in a year, don't waste all your energy saving $3 here and $5 there, while ignoring your biggest expenses. For most households, the big 3 are housing, transportation, and food. Let's start with housing. Housing is often the biggest monthly expense. So even a modest change can make a huge difference. Could you get a roommate? Negotiate a lease renewal. Move to a cheaper place when your lease ends. House hack. Or temporarily move in with family, if that's realistic and fits your bigger goals. Saving even $300 a month on housing creates $3,600 in a year. Now transportation. If you've got a high car payment, expensive insurance, premium fuel habits, frequent rideshares, or unnecessary driving, this category might be draining more money than you realize. You might save by shopping insurance quotes, refinancing an auto loan, if rates and your credit profile make sense, carpooling, using public transit more often, or batching errands to cut fuel use. Saving $150 a month here equals $1,800 per year. Then food. This is where a lot of people can cut spending, without a huge drop in quality of life. Not by starving themselves, but by cutting back on restaurants, delivery fees, impulse grocery runs, and food waste. If you spend $800 a month on food and bring it down to $600, that's $200 a month. Or $2,400 in a year. Now here's the powerful part. $300 from housing, $150 from transportation, and $200 from food. That already gets you to $650 per month. You're most of the way there. A lot of overspending isn't really about income. It's about convenience. Apps make it easy to spend. Saved cards make it easy to spend. Notifications, sales, one-click checkout, and food delivery make it easy to spend. So use friction in your favor. Delete saved payment methods from shopping apps. Remove food delivery apps from your phone for 30 days. Cancel and use subscriptions immediately. Use a 24-hour rule for non-essential purchases. Create a weekly cash limit for personal spending. Unsubscribe from retailer emails and deal alerts. This sounds small, but it works. Behavioral finance research consistently shows that when spending becomes even slightly less convenient, purchases drop. Friction works. Let's say you cancel 3 subscriptions totaling $45. Reduce impulse shopping by $100. And cut delivery fees plus markups by $80. That's another $225 per month. Now add that to the earlier $650, and you're at $875 per month. That's the annual target, right there. The exact numbers will vary. But the principle stays the same. Make waste harder. For a lot of people, especially on a lower income, cutting expenses alone is not enough. And that's okay. You can only cut so far. Income has no fixed ceiling. So if saving $10,000 in a year feels tight, aim to generate an extra $200 to $500 per month. That can take a lot of pressure off. Some realistic options. Freelancing in writing, design, editing, admin support, or social media. Pet sitting, babysitting, tutoring, or house cleaning. Selling in used items around your home. Weekend retail or restaurant shifts. Food delivery or rideshare, if vehicle costs still leave room for profit. Overtime, shift swaps, or asking for more hours at your current job. Or a targeted job switch, if you're significantly underpaid. Even one extra $100 shift each weekend can create roughly $400 a month. Over 12 months, that's $4,800. And don't overlook selling stuff. A lot of households have unused electronics, furniture, clothes, tools, and hobby gear just sitting there. A one-time declutter sale could bring in a few $100s. Maybe even a couple thousand, depending on what you own. If your baseline savings capacity is only $300 a month, adding $300 from extra income gets you to $600. Then one tax refund, bonus. gift, or side sale can help close the rest of the gap. Here's where most savings goals succeed or fail. People assume saving money is about willpower. Usually, it's about systems. Once you know your monthly target, automate as much of it as possible. Open a separate high-yield savings account just for this $10,000 goal. Not your main checking account. Not mixed in with bill money. Separate. Then set up automatic transfers every payday. If you're paid twice a month, an $833 monthly goal is about $416 per paycheck. If you're paid bi-weekly, it's about $385 per paycheck. If you're paid weekly, it's about $192. Why use a high-yield savings account? Because it keeps the money separate, and it may earn interest while you save. Interest won't do all the work. But every bit helps. You can also automate extra money. Tax refunds. Cashback rewards. Work bonuses. Gift money. Marketplace sales. Unused budget amounts at month end. The less often you have to decide whether to save, the more likely you are to hit the goal. If your income changes month to month, you need a different strategy. Instead of aiming for exactly $833 every month, use a percentage-based method. For example, save 20 to 30% of every paycheck. Save 50% of all windfalls or extra income. Set a minimum monthly floor, maybe $300. Then add more in stronger months. Let's say your income is inconsistent because you freelance, work commission, or have seasonal hours. In a good month, you might save $1,200. In a weak month, maybe only $300. That's okay. The goal is yearly, not perfectly equal every month. This is also where a save-first approach matters. When money comes in, move the savings portion immediately. Before lifestyle spending expands and absorbs it. Because that's what often happens when income rises. Spending quietly rises too. That's lifestyle creep. And lifestyle creep is one of the biggest reasons people with decent incomes still struggle to save. Savings goals are easier to stick with when they feel real. So give your $10,000 a purpose. Is it your emergency fund? A down payment? A debt prevention cushion? A move fund? A baby fund? A freedom fund? Vague money is easy to spend. Purpose-driven money is easier to protect. Create a visible tracker. A simple chart, an app. Or even a note on your phone. Break the goal into milestones. First $500. First $1,000. $2,500. $5,000. $7,500. $10,000. Every milestone matters. Because progress builds motivation. You can even add mini rewards that don't sabotage the goal. For example, after each milestone, celebrate with a low-cost treat, a day trip, or a favorite meal at home. Let's make this practical. If you're on a lower income, focus on essentials first. Cut the easiest waste. Negotiate bills. Use assistance programs if you're eligible. Sell unused items. And prioritize extra income. Your path might look like $300 from cuts, $300 from side income, and $233 from windfalls, refunds, or occasional larger transfers. If you're on a moderate income, you may be able to hit the goal mostly through budgeting and automation. For example, $200 from food and subscriptions, $200 from transportation and bills, and $433 through automatic paycheck transfers. If you're on a higher income but still not saving, the problem may be lifestyle inflation. In that case, the answer often isn't earning more. It's capping lifestyle upgrades, and automating savings before the money disappears into restaurants, travel, shopping, And convenient spending. Different income levels. Same principle. Create margin, and capture it. Here's a simple 12-month blueprint. Month 1. Track every expense. Open a dedicated savings account. Cancel obvious waste. Set your first automatic transfer. Month 2. Cut one major category. Usually food, transportation, or housing. Sell unused items. Month 3. Add one income boost. Overtime, freelancing, weekend work, or a service-based side hustle. Months 4 through 6. Refine the system. Increase transfers when possible. Sweep extra cash into savings at the end of each month. Months 7 through 9. Watch for burnout. Keep habits simple. Revisit subscriptions, insurance, and spending leaks. Months 10 through 12. Push with intention. Use holiday planning, bonus income, or year-end spending controls to close the gap and finish strong. And if you fall behind 1 month, don't quit. Seriously, don't. Missing one target does not ruin the year. The people who reach goals usually aren't the people who are perfect. They're the people who restart quickly. So, can you save $10,000 in 1 year on any income? Yes. But not by hoping. Not with vague goals. And not by relying on motivation alone. You do it by turning the goal into a monthly number, finding your biggest money leaks. Cutting low-value spending, increasing income when needed. And automating the process so your savings keep happening even when life gets busy. If you remember one thing from this video, let it be this. You do not need one giant change. You need a repeatable system. Start today by doing 3 things. Calculate your monthly target. Review your last 30 days of spending. And set up one automatic transfer, even if it's small. Momentum beats intensity. And once you hit your first 1,000, you'll realize something important. Saving money is not just about the number in the bank. It's about proving to yourself that you can build control, stability, and options. If this video helped you, subscribe for more personal finance strategies, budgeting tips, and practical ways to build wealth on any income. And in the comments, share this. What's the first category you're cutting to start your $10,000 goal? Your future self will thank you for starting now.